Nice to be in orbit. Nice to be in orbit.
Hey guys, welcome. Good morning to Sip and Chat with Azem and of course Jade Gwenny to CPL Matthew Stewart. I think it's Beyonce Johnson.
Of course.
Right here on the Sugar Factory this morning. We are looking forward to having a great show.
Yes, and firstly, happy birthday.
Oh, that's today?
Yes. Happy birthday to my fellow Februarian. Yes.
Big up. You're Pisces?
No, I'm an Aquarius.
You're Aquarius, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Well, Februarian, yes. But thank you, Jade.
You look well.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
I want to believe that I'm aging well. I want to believe
I
that.
think so.
Yeah.
I think you're aging like a vampire, so I'll have to get your props on that one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am intending to stay as fit and as young as possible for as long as possible.
As you should, friend.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, not to start out on a morbid thing, but of course, when for my birthday is a time of reflection, right? Like I do a lot of self-searching. As a matter of fact, usually what would happen is I would go, like nobody would know where I'm at. Like I would go disappear for a few hours. I'll go disappear for a few hours, go to some random beach, like some random food spot or whatever, and just kind of have a nice meal and think about like just, you know, what I want to do for the year and
The whole year.
like
Wow.
where I'm at and think just set a few goals, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
and kind of look back, do some self-reflection. And one of the things that I've been thinking about lately is, you realize
That is something that I have noticed, and it kind of made me want to make sure I'm taking care of myself. Granted, I don't think even that could stop you from, you know, just walking outside tomorrow and getting hit by a car, but at least it makes you a little more mindful of your health and, you know, trying to do better, just in case, because you don't know what's eliminating people.
yeah, like there's people who I was watching this thing the other day where this lady was speaking about her husband, and she said, you know, her husband was having some stomach problems. He went to the doctor,
As he should.
got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer,
Oh dear.
and within 3 weeks, she said she couldn't recognize her husband. He was a totally different person.
Sometimes the thing is when you get a diagnosis.
Yes, yes. No,
Things are just go left, you know.
A lot of times is when you find out, like the stress of
Yes.
finding out, just recognition that, oh, I am sick now. And that's why I tell people, you know, like the mind is a powerful thing, eh?
Definitely is.
The mind is a powerful thing, and that's why you always hear people talk about persons who have like a positive mindset, even when they're going through struggles, and how that helps. Not only them, but even the people around them
Yeah.
to cope, right? But I try to really make an effort to, you know, take care of myself in some way, you know, kind of do what I need to do. You know, eat a little. Even yesterday I was eating some cookies, and I was just like, I only have one.
And then you had 5?
I eat out of the crate.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know what was going on with me yesterday.
You only live once.
A little confession for this whole.
Yeah, maybe it was in a birthday mood, so I was celebrating with some cookies.
Maybe.
Yeah, you don't usually do it, so that's fine.
Yeah, and then I don't drink juice really, so
Oh.
yeah.
I've stopped drinking juice again.
Yeah.
Like fully.
Nice.
To the point where I don't even allow Jaden to drink juice.
I like that. I like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to today. You know, it's a work field day. I heading over to Nevis tonight again.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm one of the Kingsters. We're heading
Okay.
over to Nevis.
Okay.
I got some work to go do.
Work don't stop for birthdays, boy.
What?
Go on, mine.
Look, I remember one time, it was like without fail, I'd be working for my birthday. There was a show I used to do, and it would always fall right and right on the date for my birthday. So like I always would be away. And you don't know, like I was good with that. My thing is I used to be so grateful, yeah. I used to be so grateful to just be able to like
the fact that you're just working, even.
Yeah, and not only that, but doing what I like to do. That was a big plus for me.
I think that's a blessing that a lot of us take for granted, because
Oh.
that's how I feel. I'm in my era where I'm doing what I want to do. I work completely for myself now, and feels good. It feels good. Although sometimes I just want to just not do anything, and I do, because who can stop me?
Right.
And then just have those days when you're just not in the mood. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, the reason that I don't stress too much about.
That's my mantra now.
Right.
What would Azem do?
But that's
No, literally, right?
that's a thing.
For me, because ever since you tell me you don't stress about nothing, that's how I've been feeling. Like,
Yeah.
even when things fully bothering me in my head, I'm like, let me channel me Azem
Yeah.
and not stress out.
Yeah, I try to distance myself. Like for me, in the moment, things can always be heightened. So I acknowledge the heightened feelings, but I just don't let them take over me. I use it as a guide and not something that, like I channel the feelings. I don't let the feelings channel me. If you understand what I mean?
No, I would you.
Something I've been working on.
I think you've been doing well, and I'm happy that you inspire me to do so as well, because sometimes, the mind could just race and do all types of things. By the way, the live is telling you, happy birthday.
Hey, thank you guys
Yes,
so much.
you're getting lots and lots of happy birthday wishes.
Nice, nice.
And as you should, as you deserve.
Yeah, we're going on the live and check out everybody.
Yeah. Head over to
Everybody
the YouTube.
Hey, Sugar Factory.
Yeah, the YouTube busy. Speaking of, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. That's the only way for us to build up our little community. It takes you guys helping us. So remember to share. Even if it's just a like, nothing is easier than just hitting like on your screen to make sure that, we get out into the world. We want to make sure that the show goes where it needs to go, the message gets where it needs to get, and that means that you guys have to help us.
Yeah.
Our little our Sipper family has to help us.
Yeah, and I mean, the support has been crazy. Person's been telling me, oh, I couldn't find you all, and then one of the other Sippers tell me where he was, and a Sipper put it on my phone.
And that is why we're going on a press one.
Oh yeah.
I done reach out to EK yesterday, and yeah.
Vibes.
We're going on a press one so the nation can find us.
Amazing. Well, I am no, I feel like you had something to go.
I was about to ask you, how was the Lent for you yesterday?
Well, Lent was Lenten. Lent was Lenten. I mean, generally with Lent, it's at the end of Lent where people start wilding out.
Oh, no.
But apparently, once people started taking, cutting the coffee out of their life, cutting the sugar out of their life, cutting the girl out of their life, things start falling apart.
Boy, let me tell you something, right? Between the hours of 10 a.m. yesterday to about 1 p.m., everybody went mad. Everybody lost their minds.
This Mars was in retrograde. I think St. Kitts was in retrograde.
Something was happening yesterday.
St. Kitts was in retrograde.
Oh my God, y'all were busy. Y'all was just busy, boy.
Yeah.
Leaks and statuses and thievery and where did you find the time?
Lent was Lenten.
I feel like we need to start over actually.
Yeah.
We might have to start
next
over.
Wednesday. Next second take at Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, because men think you went how we were supposed to go.
Yeah, it was a little rough. But you want to tell the viewers and the listeners a little bit about what went down?
Well, let's start with the fact that 20 million is apparently missing from Development Bank. Yeah.
20 mil?
20 mil, a small 20 mil. So there was a report that went out yesterday. Unfortunately, I can't find the link. But it said that after investigation into, you know, the ongoings of the bank.
So that sounds like an audit.
Yes. They found that 20 million was missing.
Okay.
Now, for me, I thought that was a little bit sad because...
A little bit. It's a little bit, Jade.
From what I've been hearing, I thought it was going to be like 100 mil.
There's a little bit, Jade.
Yeah, I thought it was or maybe that's all they could have found at the time. Maybe the audit ain't finished. Maybe that
No,
was
they
just...
can't bring out the audit report and it's just like halfway through. I mean, they could do anything, but I suspect. No, I think the news that I'm hearing is that a special prosecutor is going to be brought in as well.
Yes, I think that's necessary. I think that's necessary. Yeah, because Azem, think it is imploding all around us. There is so much happening. Like, I know nothing going to happen with a lot of these cases, but so much.
We're talking about this particular one. You think something happened with this one?
You know why I don't think so? It's because it's going to be hard to pinpoint who to punish. Like, I don't think that, unless, I could be wrong, I'm not a part of the audit, but I feel like it's going to be very hard for them to pinpoint exactly who to punish.
Like, the thing for me is that if it's 20 million, right? Like, even $100,000, like, it ain't like people walking out the bank with $5 every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like people walking out the bank with extra 20 in their pocket from a deposit or something, you know what I mean? So the money had to be probably transferred somewhere. So is it that the transfer you don't know yet?
Over your shot.
Over me.
Let me. No, you're right. However,
Okay,
stick up in. Let me read
no,
some of these
hold on,
comments.
hold on.
Don't everybody got to hear them.
No. Let me see, because I on the live too.
Listen, Azem,
Let me see.
if we go outside and there's a gaggle of women waiting to throw themselves at your feet, right? I will not be shocked.
I don't even know.
I don't know what a shot doing. First they wanted us to zoom in or they want to zoom out so they can see you. Stop it. Stop treating my friend like a piece of meat.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jade. The people
you are talking to it is them.
No, I'm saying the people just admiring the shirt.
They literally
I watched this y'all overreacting. I literally just went through the comments.
Somebody said, I prefer the half body view. Who is the camera person? Zoom out a bit now.
Don't jump on the Kingstons.
No, the Kingstons fine. Yeah. I think they just wanted to see Azem.
No, the full outfit. The outfit.
That's
the outfit.
Okay.
The boat outfit. That's all I was wanting to see the boat outfit. See if I'm matching.
Yeah.
I could be pantless.
Yeah. Not next to me, you can't. Not having that. But yeah, you were saying that nobody going in jail because they can't figure out. Yeah.
No, Jay, this is what I keep saying all the time, you know. This is what happens. Every time there's a change of government, you hear, lock them up, all the thief, all the money. We heard it in the last change of administration.
We have.
We heard it in the one before that, the 20 years before.
We've been hearing that all of our life.
Right? So you're going to hear, they lock them up. The problem with the lock them up is that, unfortunately, the people that the supporters does want to get locked up, generally ain't the people who would get locked up if the investigations were to go where they were supposed to go.
So they made the real big fish them?
No, there could be the big fish, but the big fish don't know without little fish. So you're going to lock up the little fish might be one of yours.
True. That's what I said, because they can't really, well, not that they can't pinpoint, but it's more of so that...
Because my thing is, trying to tell me that such and such person up in their big office, right, came down to a terminal on the floor and transferred X amount of money themselves without anyone else being involved. I find it hard to believe.
I think do me a favor, no? Stand up for a second.
Jade, relax yourself.
When I tried. I tried. It didn't work. Listen, I'm giving the viewers what they want. They want to see a birthday outfit.
The birthday outfit?
Yes. You can't stand and get a little spin.
A twirl?
I didn't want to say twirl.
Jade.
I would use the word spin.
It's against my particular brand of masculinity to twirl.
That's why I didn't say twirl. I said spin.
To spin even.
When I tried them.
But yeah, it's not a matter. I don't think it's a matter that the faces, the faces of the, let's put it this way, the persons who we target, I don't think they are they operate in a vacuum. So so don't.
Yeah, no, you're gonna be too hard for them.
And I think the powers that be know this.
And not only that,
All they want to do is make it more talking points to say when they go in the house. They're gonna make it more talking points when they go on the campaign trails, and everyone does the exact same thing.
In 2023, we did an audit.
Let me tell you something.
And we found that 20 million was missing. I
We gone.
I saw the doggy.
Where you gone?
Doggy is my favorite politician voice, you know.
Politician voice?
Yeah, I think.
I like the dynamics of his voice, like where he can go from quite aggressive and quite colloquial. Let's say colloquial, and then he can, in an instant, just shift into a place where his presentation is anything less than immaculate. One of my favorite clips from any politician is the one when he's sitting in after the first sitting of Parliament, I think it was, in National Assembly, where he's like sipping on the cup. When he's sitting and sipping on the cup, and basically saying that nothing's gonna bother him. He hasn't been here in a while. He's just gonna enjoy his tea.
I think mine is I Am a Christian.
Oh, I Am a Christian is definitely top.
Top. One of these days we got to run down our favorite Dougie moments with Dougie.
Oh, yeah.
With Dougie, not.
Yeah. No.
He has to be here when we're doing it.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Yeah, there's definitely some good candidates.
Listen.
Remember the one where he say he can start sell people?
What happened to that? What happened to that business venture?
Wow.
That would have been human trafficking, maybe.
But that's a wild one. That's a wild one, but
People, my guy.
yeah. But the point I'm making is a lot of times we have these people who we consider the face of corruption, not recognize that these people don't function by themselves. In other words, they might be the beneficiaries of whatever acts, but the acts generally have to be supported by people who are more on the ground.
Speaking of alleged face of corruption, I saw Uncle Tim looking very slim yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't. I didn't look at any of the video.
Oh no, I saw him live when he was in town yesterday.
Ah.
I saw him. I said,
Slimmers?
What?
Yeah, Tim ain't slimming no more. You think all are walking in the morning is for nothing?
No, that's true.
Come on.
That's one thing he gonna do, boy. He gonna walk.
Yeah, Tim's a walker.
He's a walker. But let's jump into some more things. Friend, I'm so sorry. I have to do it because it's a part of my job. Don't vex with me. Let's bring on honorary guest. Welcome to the floor.
Oh.
With some developments.
Lord Jade, wait.
No, go ahead.
No, because we had some other things to
Oh yeah, okay. Let's
talk about.
No, but this one started before the other thing.
Right.
So let me get this one out the way. A matter of fact, I found I have to do it on my phone. I found a very good breakdown of this case from a young lady by the name of Chevy, bless her heart. She's a lawyer, and she actually gave us a full play-by-play on this case, which, you know, probably helps a lot of people understand what was happening. As soon as my tablet refreshed, I could, okay, there we go. Let me jump over to what she said. Because, as I said, she did give us a very good breakdown.
Well, I mean, people have been interested in Nannygate for a while.
Nannygate, oh my God.
Yeah, have been interested, but a lot of people don't fully understand what might have been happening, who was alleging what, and who was defending what, and that kind of thing. So, they were able to skate under the floor for a little bit.
Yes, until it couldn't. So, the good lady said, not that anybody asked, but, and that's not true, a lot of us was asking. She said about a month ago, rumors surfaced on multiple social platforms concerning SKN's Attorney General, Garth Wilkin. The allegations were made of the employee being an illegal Vincentian immigrant who slaved for Wilkin's family and of Wilkin. not paying Social Security contributions for her publications, including allegations of blatant corruption and, among other things, accusations amounting to criminal offenses, including one punishable on summary action committed by Wilkin under the Social Security Act. 11 on the 1st of November, no, that can't be right. On the 11th of January, sorry, popular is a stretch. Talk show host Ian Patches Liebert. yeah, I'm joking.
Maybe for the wrong reason, but.
I'm joking, JK. Announced that the topic for his next program, scheduled for the 12th of the 1st, 2023, will investigate Nannygate, a true story. Following the announcement, Wilkin filed an ex parte injunction with a certificate of urgency to stop Liebert from publicly discussing the rumors being circulated on social media. Thereafter, Liebert filed an affidavit in response to Wilkin's claim and an application to have the injunction discharged. Having heard arguments and submissions from both sides, Justice Gill, in her judgment, set aside the application filed. From my reading, she said, of the said judgment, a number of things were confirmed. Firstly, while Wilkin had made payments for his employees, payments were often made in and after the due date according to the Social Security Act. For example, the Social Security payments for the domestic worker between May 2021 to July 2022 remained outstanding until August 2022, thus constituting a breach of the Act and possible criminal offense, para 18 of the judgment. Secondly, Liebert's tagline, "Let's investigate Nannygate, a true story," was not enough for the granting of an injunction for defamation purposes. Para 23 of judgment, an interim injunction in defamation matters ought only be granted in the clearest of cases. On the face of the proposed tagline, while interface can be drawn that Liebert was indeed alluding to the alleged rumors surrounding the AG, counsel for Liebert produced evidence to the court to disregard that. For example, his team successfully argued that Wikipedia, of all places, that was wild. I said, Wikipedia?
Yeah, Wikipedia. Yeah.
Wow. Wikipedia describes Nannygate as a popular term for the 1990 revelations that caused two of President Bill Clinton's choices for U.S. Attorney General to be derailed. Dictionary, defines Nannygate as any of the political scandals involving the hired nannies of politicians. Example, where taxes are unpaid or a visa not obtained. And so while the term may be derogatory, it was defamatory, or maybe she said it was not defamatory. Since being sworn in as AG, he has been vocal about his passion for integrity in public life legislation to be in. The judgment comes ahead of the scheduled sitting of Parliament, which was, I think, yesterday. Yes, as I said, she said, typo, it should be, was not defamatory for tweet number 11 in the thread. Thank you, Chevy. That was well done. You should do more of those, actually. Break down the cases of the nation. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the whole thing is just kind of interesting, right? I mean, even when I would have had the opportunity to speak to the AG prior, one of the things we spoke about was, you know, his utterances at a particular event, you know, calling for shame and all of this. He's gonna shame people and that kind of thing, which he did. He did pull back and said that, you know, he was maybe a bit you know, out of pocket for that one, right? To his credit. But it's almost like, you know, when your grandparents will tell you, if you're digging in a grave for somebody dig too. So you gotta be careful. Like,
very much so.
As a matter of fact, somebody tell me, it's like, I set up the AG and I show, so I mean, I bring my show for you to talk about all this justice and everything in public life.
I did not come in, so that had nothing to do with me.
But I mean, you kind of have to be careful a lot of times when. I remember we spoke about this when we were talking about we like people getting into, you know, even when we get in the, we're like, but no, we can't get into politics because when them skeletons start to come out.
That's why I tell you, Azem, I am not doing born and tell me how I was a raffle and all kind of thing, you know.
No, my God.
No, let me not put my foot in that ring. Let me stand on the side and just give my commentary. Y'all just go a little too hard, especially when it comes to politics. They don't play as them half of the releases yesterday, right? What about politicians?
Yeah, politicians, yeah.
I just wanted to know what I was trying to distract us from. It was the 20 mil, you know.
It was the 20 mil?
I feel like because if you look at the releases after, right, it all had to do with what the Labour administration and the leader and all of these people was doing.
The thing is, the thing for me is this: when you enter into public life, right? I think there's a trade-off, right? You give up certain things. You recognize that, and the agent spoke about this exact same thing when he was here with us last week. You recognize your public figure, your privacy kind of dwindles. Your life is now under scrutiny. The people who are gonna go back and try to figure out and like what you've been up to and those kind of things, right? They even want to know. They even want to know.
You don't.
So what I'm saying is, it becomes very difficult for you to operate if you really aren't above reproach, especially in the position that the AG is in. Because of course now, there's talk of you know, should he resign? Should he? And I think part of this is, and let's be quite honest, I've been on the record as saying, by the age of moving like he's Captain Sinkits, he's a hero, here to take corruption down to zero, right?
We're gonna mix that for you guys, don't worry.
And so it's like, okay, it's kind of like, well, we're there. You know, what everybody's saying is, they're calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
So, how you feel about like that type of assertion? Because I do believe, had something like this happened in some other territories, that would have been the call.
For him to resign?
Yeah, especially being the one who tabling things like integrity in public life. And that kind of thing.
No, it's a difficult position to be in, because truth is, I'm pretty sure he wants to actually be the person to try and, you know, fix some of the issues.
See, right there, I have a problem with that.
Why?
For the same reason I was talking about yesterday. Like, I don't think that we can place one responsibility for something like that on any particular person, right? Now, I believe persons could have that goal in wanting to see things be better. I think a lot of us do have those similar goals for the country, but we all have different ways in which we would go about it. We all have different things that we want to see. We have
oh Lord, a bike accident again, man.
Man, even one. Just don't even. Somebody got hurt?
Most likely.
Oh, bye. Yeah, we'll get to it after the break. But like I'm saying is, we all have different ways we might want to go about it, and different things we might want to focus on, right? Now, as he said, his agenda is really set by the administration, and so he's carrying out the legislative agenda of the administration.
Yeah.
That is informed by their campaign promises, things in the manifesto, etc., etc. But I think what was happening is that he joined the public life, not necessarily being like known as a politician before. Everybody kind of knew him from his legal practice and stuff like that. But became a focal point for a lot of what the administration was doing, is doing.
Yes.
Right? Is continuing to do. So you become, so it's not just that, oh, now you're a politician, oh, now you're involved in politics, but no, there's a bigger life. A lot of people was saying, he's the prime minister. Because every time there's something, he kind of is the face.
Yeah.
Right? So with all this happening now, and then to have this situation come out, it really just is kind of like...
One thing about life, did I show you some curveballs, eh?
See, my thing is this, right? we all have to, and I keep saying this all the time.
I think if he had just ignored Patrice, this wasn't gonna happen.
That's one.
Yeah.
That's one. But also, I also believe that we have to continually recognize that we are all imperfect people.
Yes.
Once you start, and that might, even if it might not have been his intention, but once you start speaking in certain ways, giving certain impressions, like you're above reproach, like I am here to deal with the corrupt acts of others and stuff like that, without recognizing that, hey, and I keep saying this all the time here, we have to recognize the things that we do not like in other people, we have the ability to do them ourselves just because we're human.
Facts.
And so if you don't give that humanistic view, you set up yourself for a higher fall. It's like Icarus, when he flew, you melt the wings and you fall.
Yeah, boy.
So you kind of have to be careful about how you present things. And a lot of times the focus now becomes on the person
and not
the
thing,
acts, not the acts that the person is doing and the things they want to achieve. So you got to watch yourself. Hubris is a mystic thing.
Bye.
Hubris is a mystic thing.
Bye. Well, we're definitely gonna continue to follow this one because if it doesn't die this week, because we have about 48 hours, 48 hours, and things are silent again.
20 million missing this year. That's a talking point.
Yeah.
The AG having these things that could amount to criminal activity or whatever, that's a talking point. Like, yeah. But so do you believe like that?
I'm gonna be biased here. No.
No, like you're biased. You're biased.
No, I'm definitely gonna be biased when it comes to gas. But no, I don't think he should resign.
So you think you think he should be the one to? Well, like I said, that's already been tabled. It's going through the house now. But integrity, but integrity in public life and stuff. You don't see that as being a little.
Take a shake. It's a little. However,
So we should just big word pass over that.
I don't think so much pass over. I think he should, if that is something that was done, he should face it. Just tell the public, apologize, do better. I think a lot of the times politicians don't. Well, he's not a politician. Ministers.
Politician.
Okay, well.
You need to.
Sorry. A lot of the
ambassadors, all them is politicians. The commissioner of police, politician, all them.
Speaking of again, a new one. But
yes,
okay, so I think a lot of the times politicians don't like to say, like, you know what, I made a mistake, I apologize, and here's how I'm going to do better. They just sweep it under the rug, or they try to make it seem like whatever it was wasn't as bad or whatever. We saw that in the last election cycle with the whole last lap debacle. So, yeah, just come out and, speak to us just how you've been speaking to us. Tell us, okay, yeah, you may have messed up here and you apologize and, Because sometimes that's all people need to hear from you, that you recognize that you've made a mistake.
Yeah, but then the problem with that is now, and of course we're not saying that everything can be fixed with an apology.
Definitely not.
But the issue with that is that does not seem to be the same level of grace that would have been given to other people in their situation. And I think that's where it gets kind of mystic. Because the tone, not from the age alone,
No.
but I think the tone from the administration is, not even the administration, but even when they were in opposition, get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them. No tolerance for these things.
Yeah.
Like zero tolerance policy. So it's gonna be interesting to see exactly what happened. I'm on record saying what I think would happen. By next week nobody care.
They definitely won't.
Yeah, by next week nobody care. We move on, and it might become a talking point at some point, based on whatever is happening. But my advice would be not just to the AG, but to all the people in these positions. Sometimes you just got cool. Sometimes you just got cool. That was my advice to the last administration, to just cool.
And they listen and see what happened?
Just
no,
cool.
they're on the opposition.
Just cool.
Did you get to listen to any of Parliament yesterday? I heard Matt did a wonderful job.
I listened to a bit, but I didn't get to listen to enough to really get a full feel for what was happening. I was wondering if it went really late it went really late last night. The reason being, a site come up again in my YouTube feed saying live, but this was like late night, so I don't know if the live just didn't stop. I was really like a really long session.
I am not sure, but I'm sure one of our wonderful news sites will put out
A synopsis of what went on.
yes.
But and for those of you who are interested, the stream is online, so you could always go back on. That's one of the pluses I have about these things being streamed online now.
Yeah.
The fact that it could live, we could go back.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, because back then you had to catch it on the radio, or you ain't catching it at all.
Yeah.
Or the TV.
Yeah.
So
now and again, ZAZ would do replays and stuff like that. But the replays, of course, would be snippets and parts, because it would have been difficult to run the whole 8-hour thing on the station. But yeah, I generally go back and
yes. So friend, as a looker, as the ladies say, you're quite handsome and all of these things, right? What is the what is the craziest thing a woman has done during, let's say, maybe a relationship or courting, or things get a little out of hand? What has been one? Because yesterday I saw a video, right? I mean, if that's what was happening, because I wasn't there. But the rumors gonna say, oh, she and
there was some relationship issues,
yes.
some tension,
Yes. One thing I must say about that video, one of my very important takeaways, right?
You have to tell the people what the video was first.
So a lady was using her body as a
stop sign.
I wouldn't say a stop sign. What? A spike strip. A speed fully.
Yeah. Okay.
However, she tried to use it as a device to stop a car.
No, this is what happened. So based on the video, what I saw in the video was there's a car
There's so many angles, by the way.
Yeah. But something like that right now in Escape, phones coming out. Whoosh,
but it wasn't only phone angles. That's a literal CCTV angle too.
Security TV angle.
Wow, I swift bad. This is why I don't got my house. I catch me slipping.
So there was a video of a lady that was standing in front of a vehicle. The vehicle at one point was stopped. She's standing in front of the vehicle.
Somebody standing on the side.
Yeah, and
Knock me down. Why y'all like to? Why y'all let's do this?
I spoke about this a few days ago.
Literally did it.
Spoke about
it wasn't this week.
Yes. Pick your battles, guys. Pick your battles. I kept saying, hey, when you're faced with superior and overpowering force, perhaps it's time for you to walk away. Well, if overpowering and superior force ain't in the form of a car, then I go.
What's more superior right now for a human body?
So she was there, and then apparently the driver eventually started moving forward.
That was a long drive too,
Yeah, it was a little.
That's that by Avis went a car. You know where Avis be? Avis barely rode the car there, Yeah. And it went up by the sands. But I was saying, one of the things I recognize with this young lady is, right? She is quite fit.
Yeah, them legs was moving fast.
Oh my God.
Them legs are moving real fast.
Whoever training her, train me.
Yeah, she had to be an athlete.
Has to be Azem. Ain't no way she doing that. Them legs was moving.
Legs of steel.
Yeah, man. That was moving.
Yeah, gazelle.
She was light on them feet.
Yeah, light.
Too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I keep saying, I am just thankful. I am so thankful that at least in the video there wasn't any evidence of like injury.
Yes.
Or anyone getting hurt, because that was my concern. My concern.
Me too, boy.
I just hope nobody gets hurt here. And we're gonna have to start recognizing, hey, this might not be the best course of action. We gotta start some critical thinking here. I don't know what the issue was, but putting yourself in danger like that, I think is probably not the best way to deal with the situation.
Not at all. Like, I think we need to, and I mean, things happen in the moment. Things happen in the moment. You get upset and all rational goes out. Maybe not for you, Azem, but
No, that happens. The key is to recognize that that is something that you need to work on.
No, I'm pretty sure looking back at the video, she recognizes maybe she needs to. No, you don't think so?
No. Looking back at the video, and that's the issue. If the issue that I have a lot of time, people only respond to shame.
Bring back shame.
People only respond to shame. I don't know this young lady. I don't know what's in her mind.
Neither do I.
I suspect in some situations is people make decisions that really undermine, like just really put them in danger.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, put themselves in danger. And when they look back, there might be a recognition as danger, but you know what has really caused them to do some self-reflection?
Oh.
Shame.
Yeah. I didn't need shame for me to self-reflect, but some people do, honestly. Some people need to be, well, as God said, name and shame. Some people need to be named and shamed. And I'm pretty sure.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's not going to do that again. But yeah, yesterday we're just busy, man. Just, busy.
The thing about it was, too, right, that the video came out, the young lady, I think, of course, a lot of us would have been happy that, like I said, she was okay. But that then opened the door to the response videos. And the response videos was crazy.
Big up Mono one time.
The post were crazy. People.
I would let Mono come co-host, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid, man. I am afraid to let the cat loose in this studio. Beg I let you.
Mono tell the girl, you gotta be a Hulk girl. You ain't even change color.
He said, what he said? What? Break the window next time?
Break out the window.
Yeah, girl, you're doing it right.
People saying that she should have jumped on the hood.
Yeah, try to have this young lady die.
You know the level of dexterity and athleticism you can take.
Jump on a moving piano.
Well, they already pushing.
No, y'all. Be for real, please. Stop telling. Listen, instead of telling this young lady, you know what? Find a better way to resolve it. Y'all out here encouraging violence, you know. Break the windscreen.
You know what? Let me tell you something, right? Had that been the other way around.
Oh no. Oh.
The man on the outside and a woman.
Oh dear.
Shaking him.
She should knock him down. She run him over.
She fear for his life. Somebody get any chance.
Somebody the killer. Should I knock him down?
Hey. It's crazy out here. But
yeah.
I think, like I said, stop putting ourselves in dangerous situations. Stop it out of hurt. I think that's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to for me. We keep putting ourselves, I see people are in compromising positions because they're angry for whatever reason. When you look back at this 5-10 years and you look back at the situation, you ain't going to feel the same way you felt in the moment.
No, I don't think so either.
The emotional response is temporary.
Yeah. And shame is forever.
But you can't forever know. Forever know, you're going to be known as quick like Azem. Strong calf.
That's her name from now on, Strong Calf.
So you're doing that?
What? Do you what?
Stop.
You, sir, I'm not Hulk, I don't turn green. According to Mano. That is not my ministry.
Never say never, but I just don't.
No, I say never, man. I say never.
Yeah.
I definitely say never.
But it, somebody's supposed to come in, so.
You might, check to see what's happening outside.
Yeah.
But as I'm definitely telling you, never.
I would say I would want to believe that I would never be put in that position, but hey.
You ain't know.
No, you never, yeah.
A young lady might go a little insane. That's why I was asking you, what give me an example of a situation that...
No, Jade, Jade.
Way.
The women in my life, I have been in my life, are all well adjusted, rational.
You ain't old, like. As in, you literally turn 1 year older today and you're still lying?
The women in my life are rational,
You mean
well-adjusted.
currently?
Yes, currently.
Okay, see?
Nothing like that.
No, I don't think.
Nothing like that. Nothing like
But you
that.
get kidnapped already.
Yes.
But I wasn't.
That's probably right there.
Yeah, I think every time I think about that story,
Yeah, I got kidnapped.
I said, "Bye, my friend, I almost wasn't here, bye."
Yeah, I got kidnapped. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But is it kidnapping if you're an adult?
Yeah. Because adult napping sounds like something else that we all would want to do. So,
I think we need to change it from kidnapping, though.
yeah. That was
It's a wild time in your life, eh?
well time.
So I'm glad you were here still to tell the story.
Yes,
Or
yes.
not tell the story. Telling the story.
No, I'm not gonna tell the
No,
story.
definitely won't want you to tell the story either, but at least you're here.
For those of you who are trying to figure out who might have kidnapped me, this was a long time ago.
I had a couple of years I started to do the master.
No,
Carry the
This was-
fool, like.
This is even prior to me going to university and all of that. So this is
Yeah,
a
man.
long time
When he
ago.
was wild in his young days. This wasn't your
Actually,
fault.
this was not my fault.
No,
this was not my fault. I was actually trying to not wild at all. And that was the problem.
And you see what happened?
That was the problem.
You try to live a better life and
Look, stories for the grandkids, not for the sippers though.
stories for the grandkids, yes. This might be too hot for the sippers.
No, but yeah.
But I'm just happy you're still here.
Yeah. But no, I mean, people, when they are emotionally triggered,
Oh.
are capable of some seriously insane behavior.
Yes.
And yeah, that's why I try to practice critical thinking. I try to practice emotional control. Like, those are the things that I think really keep me out of a lot of trouble. I see people getting into trouble
Yeah,
all the time.
boy.
All the time. Being
It's
able
crazy.
to. And I keep saying it, I keep saying it. When we start talking about school and education and so, I keep saying critical thinking should be definitely on the curriculum. Emotional intelligence need to be on the curriculum. Even things like what's the name of that? I go through it with some young kids sometimes. Maybe ethics. These things used to be in the school curriculum,
For sure?
Ethics used to be in the school
Why
curriculum.
do we move them?
Because they don't want us to be ethical.
But I want us to know cursive.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but I remember I was watching a documentary one time.
Somebody said man up.
Oh, man.
Man up, yes. But if it's a woman?
Still, man.
Okay.
But I was watching a documentary one time and I was talking about the Industrial Revolution, about and how school played into that whole thing. And I don't know how true this is because I haven't fact checked it. But I think it was Jade Rockefeller who made a comment when they were trying to come up with the whole idea of school. Because what would happen is generally people would start working from the small, you're 8 and so you're basically you're already a partner in a business. Because your parents farming, you got land, you have prospects for the future, right?
Child labor was a thing.
I mean, is it really child labor if you're going out in your yard and planting corn?
Yes.
What?
That's labor. You're a child.
But child labor has like a negative connotation.
I know.
Especially if you're going up to own it yourself.
Yeah. It's still child labor, man. It is still child labor. However, it's not the type of child labor where it's like you in
You
a
work in a
sweatshop.
sweatshop for working for some big corporation or whatever.
Getting 99 cents per year.
Yeah, but a lot of people that own businesses, they own resources. Or even if you didn't, for instance, people who look like us, they didn't really own the resources, but they had access to resources that were able to give them income and money and stuff like that, right? And to get out of that whole system, they were like, oh, we're going to come up with this thing, like the school thing. Yeah, we're going to make sure everybody goes to school.
Yeah.
And they were like, back in the day, it's like you used to go to school for like 3 hours a day.
Oh, that sounds heavenly.
So you go to school from like 7 to 10, and then you would go home and help whatever family business or whatever, whether your parents were involved in agriculture, if they were involved in textiles, construction, whatever it was, you'll go and help out and whatever. And then he was like, but no, we got to keep them in school the whole day.
Why?
And I was like, well, why would we do that? Because they did a study on indoctrination, on how to indoctrinate somebody. So they came up with the amount of hours that were needed to fully indoctrinate somebody by yourself. Right?
They're saying the volume going up and down.
I don't know. But yeah, we'll have the Kingsters check that.
Yes.
But yeah, so what I'm saying is they were trying to literally indoctrinate kids, right? And so they figured out how much time they needed to keep children in school and all of this kind of thing. So they said they asked Jade Rockefeller, well, think about it. If children don't go to school like 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and you're telling them you want to go to 8 hours a day, the question is, what are we going to teach them? How are we going to keep them in for 8 hours?
So they just started to make up stuff.
So the Rockefeller response was, we just teach them everything about nothing. Wow.
Not shocking at all.
Yeah, so it was, it sometimes it feels like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it
Truly.
feels like that is exactly what's going on.
Because I feel like me learned nothing in school.
Nothing? I wouldn't say nothing.
As I feel like me I didn't.
Oh, okay. I am actually reaching out to my mother. Ooh.
Your mom?
Yeah.
What she do?
Looking for us.
Look, what else we gonna be?
I don't think she knows exactly where to find us.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
sent her one of
okay.
Kingsters' numbers so she could call the Kingsters.
Okay. I got
Yeah.
you.
But yeah, it's definitely it definitely screams that there are some failings. There's some failings. We're seeing too many videos now of people, and our reaction is just, you probably shouldn't have done that. You probably shouldn't have done that. So I think that signals that. I think that's been signaling that we need some maturity. We need some emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Critical thinking skills.
Definitely, that one.
Yeah, we need to treat people better too. Y'all doing things to drive women crazy back.
Yeah, out here making people insane, and then when they act insane, you're shocked. Well, you're shocked. How are you shocked that you triggered that response out of this person?
No.
It is no. If y'all do certain things, people will get triggered.
Yeah, for sure. But
yes.
You think that's how should I say it?
Money.
You think that's
Oh, the gang's all here.
the gang? You look excited, you know. You look excited.
I'm always excited to see your parents.
Oh boy.
So you have to be missing.
But we still live, so just make sure wherever you're going out. Alright. So guys, like I said, please exercise some emotional intelligence.
And stop triggering the women to do crazy things.
It's not over, Jade.
Azem, God can't even convince me that whatever that guy do ain't trigger a lady to try to make herself a speed bump.
Yes, but But at the same time, how do you have to take responsibility
No,
for your
she
actions.
should. She should.
Yeah.
He also should.
But
Everybody should. Everybody in that situation needs to take
I
responsibility.
don't think whatever he did happened while he was in the car at the time. So there was some,
So there's like a delayed response.
yeah.
Well,
guys,
I just no me jumping in front of nobody car. So y'all ain't gonna ever see a video of me doing that.
yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah,
That's good
yeah.
to know. But guys,
my calves don't work like that.
yeah. But guys, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna be right back with more SipNchat with Azem and Jade right here on the Sugar Factory. Stick and stay. Go fill up your cups and your mugs. We'll be right back.
Indeed.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Chat with Azem and Jade. And in studio with us, we have a very special guest, none other than the Bishop Herro Blair Jr. from Jamaica. How are you doing, sir?
Awesome. Happy to be here. Nice to see you today and nice to meet Miss J.
Yes, nice to meet you as well.
All right, Jade.
Well, I mean, we have had several guests on this show over the last week, really.
Week.
Yeah, and we haven't really spoken to anybody from the Christian community.
No, we
right?
have not.
And I'm looking forward to this because you are also someone who is involved in media, involved in several other things. But how about we allow you to speak a bit just
Yes.
about yourself and let people know exactly who you are and what is it that you do?
Well, happy to be here. Media for me has been a lifetime where I started in church back in 1983.
That's a long time.
Doing character generator, graphics, and then cameras, and moving beyond there. Went to school at Oral Roberts University where I was in charge of the great studio there. And then I got back to Jamaica in 1990 and I edited two mainstay Jamaican shows called Rapping and Hill and Gully Ride. Hill and Gully Ride is still going on today. And I also did some reggae shows with a lot of the reggae stars and music videos. The big show is called Reggae Strong with Stafford Ashani. After that, I went to Cayman and became a sports director for TV station and for two radio stations, and was on the radio and TV over there. I did the Western Union World Football Report for ESPN and BBC, and so it's been a great career. Went back to Jamaica in 2008, was in charge of a youth center, and then got back on the radio again. So I'm still on the radio in Jamaica now, but my passion is TV at all levels. I don't believe, I'm not one of those who believe in Christian radio, Christian TV, Christian music, Christian gospel music, because I fully believe that we have an opportunity to touch the world or to touch people beyond singing Jesus Saves.
Right, right.
You know, so I've been spending a lot of time. I spoke to Stitchy last week. I spoke to some guys in the States and to Shirley Caesar's grandson last night. I was sharing with them that gospel music needs to get to the point where we're talking about rape and homelessness and fatherlessness.
Right.
Because the radio stations will play a Rastaman song.
Right.
But the secular radio stations and TV stations don't just play a gospel song.
Right.
So when we start becoming conscious, like the Rastaman, when we start touching lives beyond just saying Jesus saves, then the message of Jesus becomes a reality.
Right.
Because that's what he did, you know, and that's what I do.
Well, I mean, I'm listening to you speak, and what I'm hearing is that perhaps not only just gospel artists and gospel art in general, but just even maybe the church needs to recognize that when you're feeding people the gospel, it has to really become practical and speak to their lives.
Yeah.
That might be a little slow on the uptake for some of the churches and some of the...
I think we're stuck. I think we're stuck in whatever the seminar's been trying to tell us over the years. We're stuck in what I call churchianity, church as usual. And I believe we need to get to church unusual. We need to get beyond just even the four walls. So I don't know who's watching me, but I'm a pastor who's been in bars. I'm a pastor. Back in 2008, I went to Jamaica, took over a youth organization. One night I'm driving home. I'm also managing a TV station at the time. And as I was driving home, I saw this lady on the road at 10 o'clock. So I stopped and asked her what she's doing on that road and offered her a ride. She was going towards my father's church. So she began to tell me she's dancing at a strip club. I never met a stripper before.
How was that for you?
That was, the whole process of that night was difficult. Because she told me she was an evangelist in a church and got pregnant. And the church was not there with her. And several months later, there was another girl that said to her, come, let's make some money at the strip club.
Okay.
Right? On the same road that my father's church is on Waltham Park Road in Jamaica, I also saw two girls in their underwear one night, and I stopped and asked them, what are you doing out here? Kids are walking by, and they told me, there's a brothel there. Never heard about a brothel before because I was locked up in church all my life.
Oh, wow.
Never been in a club before. And they explained everything to me, and I said, okay, They asked me, who am I? I said, as a pastor down the road. They immediately asked for prayer. And I prayed with them, learning in a process at the time that even prostitutes and strippers love God. And it became like a university experience for me, because they called me back there 2 weeks later. Everywhere I go, I give my phone number. And when they called me back, they said, we want you to pray with all the girls here. I said, sure. They said, you have to come inside. I go, no way.
It's all like a trap.
Oh dear.
So I walked inside, and as I walked in, there were 10 girls holding hands, speaking in tongues, shouting Jesus, crying. And I go, Lord, what is this?
That sounds a bit strange. That was not what I was expecting.
Not at all.
Because everywhere I go, I find people who grew up in church, people who are backsliders. And as I was saying to your parents, it's just so obvious that the church in general has not discipled people, has not cared about the young people in a sense, because many young people leave church at 21 and never really look back. And it was a lesson for me that these people and others, even in the process, love Jesus. Can I tell you, I maybe am the only pastor in Jamaica or the world with a VIP pastor strip club.
Congratulations.
I'm telling you.
Because the owner said to me, he said, the girls don't fight when you come by here, and at least I see them praying during the daytime. And I got most of them to leave, and I got most of them to go back to school, which is the process of what this is all about, because I really believe in education. So when I preach from a different perspective. I don't preach the 1, 2, 3 seminarian thing. I preach just to use them to relate to people and their lives. I talk about the 8,000 teenage pregnancies in Jamaica every year when I'm with young people, because I talk about the fact that sex is a gift, but it's a gift for couples, married couples moving towards setting up a family and the power of family. I go to bars and pray with men. And men hold hands in a bar, and I learned from my University of Christian Jamaica, my University of Real Jamaica.
Right.
I learned that men don't go to the bar to get drunk.
Right.
I found out for the first time in these last 15 years, having been a pastor for many years, that men go to the bar to fellowship and have a drink. But we've told them that they're not worthy of God. And so they don't come to church because they don't believe that they can have a beer and come to church. So I say to Christians that we're all a bunch of hypocrites, because most Christians have a nice bottle of wine or several beers, or in Jamaica I call them the Dragon Stout or whatever, in their fridge. But a man that sits in the beer having the same drink is a sinner.
Right.
So
So maybe this is the question that I need to ask. From your view and or your opinion, what role does the church, or should the church play, just in society as a whole? Bearing in mind that there are a lot of people who may argue that the church's position or role is a bit antiquated and maybe outdated, and that society is moving in a different direction.
I think the church has moved in a different direction. Let's go back to Jesus. Jesus walks and sits down with the woman at the well, and he talks with her despite all her husbands. And he gives her an assurance of life despite all of her sins. We are waiting for people to come to us when they're ready to come to us. So we have to be out there. But that's why I'm in the bars. That's why I used to. My wife doesn't like when I go to the clubs. So I train people to go. But that's why I go, because Jesus told us to go. Not go to church. He told us to go to where the lost are. And he says he's anointed to heal brokenhearted. There's so many people out there who've gone through so much that need to be healed. So I'll say once again, then I'm a different kind of pastor. I've been divorced. And I've found the gift of healing people going towards and going through divorce. Even a pastor spoke with me yesterday about his own struggles that he's going through. And I shared with him everything I'd been through, like me talking to my wall because I couldn't tell my parents what I was going through, or me just sitting down there and it was just me, God, and my wall. He just broke down and said, Pastor Blair, you're different. I needed this.
No, honestly, right? Listening to you speak about how you approach being a pastor, it's a lot different to what we've heard, because I am somebody who has had the view of, well, not necessarily the view, but I've experienced where the church has made us who are not deemed as Christians feel like we're not worthy of love or acceptance, or, you know, because of how they think we should be as people. And if you are anything outside of that box that they created, you are not you're not going to heaven, or God doesn't love you. And so I think that's a lot of the reasons why.
Can I rock your world?
Sure, go ahead. You've been doing it, but go ahead.
I'm going to rock your world. I'm the kind of pastor when I preach, I go, I'm going to break a word. Okay, here we go. You ever ask God to forgive you for your sins?
Yes.
What do you think God does?
I think he forgives me.
If God forgives you for your sins, how can you be a sinner?
That's a good question.
But the church makes you feel that because you're not in there, or you may be different. Maybe you have a tattoo, or some churches you're wearing jewelry, or your earrings, makeup, or just different things that you don't fit. But 1 John 1 verse 9 says, if you confess your sins, God is faithful and just to forgive you and cleanse you of all unrighteousness. If that's the case, how can you be a sinner? If you go to a court and the judge says you're free to go, you're not guilty, can a policeman take you back to jail for the same crime?
Right.
No, can't. So therefore, my task has been to say to people, well, firstly, I've learned through my experiences that people love God. But because we the church have said to people, you don't fit the box, then they don't come, and we keep them out.
Yeah.
So God's now saying to us, forgiven, Jade. If you've been forgiven, maybe you don't fit this church or that church, but you fit the kingdom. And if you fit the kingdom, what we're going to find on that day is that judgment day, that many of us in the church are going to stand before God, and he's going to say, depart from me, I know you not. You've been a hypocrite. You've been living a lie. But here comes a Jade that's been saying, Lord, forgive me. And God's been saying, okay, I forgive you. And Jade stands before him and says, but Lord, I was there. And he says, well, when you asked me to forgive you, you didn't go back and do all the things that you were doing, because you made an effort to try to be different and to live. And then the Word of God says, God knows your heart. And he tries to help you to grow from there. My task has always been to help the church to become the church, and to help those on the outside to realize that you have a God who loves you and accepts you and wants to develop you. And as he develops you, that's where the church should really come in and say, okay, let's fine-tune where you are. Let's help to develop purpose and to create destiny for your life. And when that happens, all of a sudden now, you're not just getting up in the morning and you don't feel like going anywhere. You're living. Too many of us are existing.
Yes.
And so I don't call myself a motivational speaker, but I'm the person that will come into your life and say, you know what, Jade, you don't come to church, but I'll be your pastor. And you go, really? I go, yeah. So we'll meet on Facebook, or we'll meet on WhatsApp, and I'll pastor you for the rest of your life until you make a decision to go to Baptist or Methodist or wherever. But I'll be there with you, and that's how I live my life.
I really appreciate that, because as I said, there has been too many times where people just make you feel like you aren't worthy because you aren't living up to what they think you should live up to.
Are we living up to what he thinks?
Right.
My attitude is because I'm not perfect. I've had my struggles. So can I go deeper now? I'm preaching.
No, people literally are messaging me about this. So
Yes. I tell people, I love women. I love beautiful women. You never heard a pastor say that before, do you?
No.
Well, obviously, it's the grace of God that keeps me. But I tell people I love women. I don't love men. I say it this way, I love man.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I've been to places where I went to a bank one day, a man stops me and goes, hey, Pastor Blair, I said, where you know me from? He said, you came to my church. When I hear you say you love woman, I looked up. And he said, I heard every word you said after that. I never heard anything before. And he said, I gave my life to the Lord because you told us how you make it. You've struggled and you struggle, but the grace of God keeps you and the love of God keeps you. And I said, that's because I can't make it on my own. I'm a human being. If I didn't have a love for what was created for me, because you're created for a man. You're not created for another woman, and you're not created to be alone. You're created for a man. And I'm a man. And I just tell them, I just remind the men, you're created, you're created for one woman's created for you, not every woman out there, because we love women. But at the end of the day, it's that grace I get up in the morning and I like I'm here now, and my wife's in Orlando for my uncle's funeral, and I call her 10 o'clock at night, and we stay on WhatsApp till 6 in the morning. We go to sleep. I watch her roll. I listen to her snore. And I get up in the morning and
True love.
in my mind, well, it's not just true love, it protects me from thinking about all the other beautiful ladies and kids. You have to do, so I teach men, you have to do what is necessary to live. You know, you have to avoid, you have to get away from the temptation. So I try not to go on the road too much, because I know I'm going to go on the road and see all these nice and yes. I saw some yesterday, and I just said, "Thank you, Jesus. I'm going home. Thank you, Jesus. I'm with Pastor Pansy. I can't look because I can't let Pastor Pansy see me looking. Glory be to God."
But I think what you really highlighting is admission that we are human, and humans are imperfect, and we struggle, right? And so I keep saying it all the time. The fact that a lot of people, we don't admit what we have propensity to do, doesn't allow us to put the things in place to stop us from doing the things that we otherwise wouldn't want to do, right?
You can't have deliverance unless you have confession.
Right.
You've got to acknowledge who you are, where you are, before you get the opportunity to be delivered. Because if you tell yourself you don't have a problem, you'll never have a solution.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people struggle with, this belief that the idea of living a righteous life is the same as living a perfect life.
Yes.
And I think that struggles because we somehow innately know that we're not perfect, and so we forego the pursuit of righteousness. So I think just hearing the fact that, hey, acknowledge your flaws, acknowledge your weaknesses, and that puts you at a place where you can now deal with what it is, and
Yeah. Theology says it's not our righteousness, it's God's righteousness. And that's important, because we will never be perfect. Look at Peter, spends 3 years walking up and down with Jesus, and then denies him.
Imagine that.
Right? All these disciples don't want to show up at the cross. But then Jesus comes back in and gets them to Pentecost, and then Peter preaches a sermon like he's never preached before, and 3,000 people get saved. The same lying, denying Peter becomes this person that touches lives, because I'm sure he told them, I denied Christ. I'm sure he told them, I've made my mistakes, but the love of God has brought me back here. And in the next chapter, in Acts chapter 3, Peter's there walking to the temple, and as he goes to the temple, he sees this man begging him, and the man says, beg your money, and Peter says, but I don't have no silver, no gold, but such as I have. And that's what is important. What do you have inside of you? You know, it's the power of the Holy Ghost. It's not our perfection, it's not our righteousness, because we are nothing but Christ in us. And that's where the difference is.
Right. Well, I mean, I am sure people listening may want to hear more about what is it you have to say, and hear more about the word and what it is that but you're here for a specific reason.
Yes.
You're here for a specific reason, and we'll want to talk a bit about that. Tell us a bit about why you're in St. Kitts.
Well, I'm in St. Kitts because it's one of the greatest islands in the world.
No, that is a fact.
Yeah, big fact.
Yes, I'm here for a crusade at the Pentecostal Church of God, and I'm really looking forward to it. My father should have been here, and though I've preached in maybe 50 to 80 churches a year since I've been in Jamaica, he's never once sent me to replace him or to stand in for him. So this is a big deal for me.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Pressure.
The pressure is on?
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that, he's the real deal. He's the big man. But I tell you what, I'm different. I'm different from him, and I'm here because God wanted me here for this season, for this time. And what I really intend to do is to encourage those who need to take that step. So I'm here for the church to get some people more committed to the work of the Lord, not necessarily to the church. Right. Because the work of the Lord is, we've got to reach the lost at any cost. And to get to those who are not saved and say to them, God loves you. God loves you. We have no intention of locking you out. I spoke to Pastor Bailey yesterday at the church, and he was saying to me, I'm really looking forward to developing this church to be a church that is not usual. And I go, you need to come and listen to all my disciples talk about what I teach, because I teach church unusual. So I was just so excited to hear him say that, you know, and that's something I'm really looking forward to. I haven't even preached once here, but I'm really looking forward to being back.
Imagine
Yeah.
that.
No, I think what you're doing is important because, as you said, church unusual. What we have as non-church going on, non-Christian people, the idea of church, what we have, doesn't really seem like the idea that. Well, it is an idea that we've seen, but it's not one that you are giving us right now. It feels like it's different to what we're usually taught, because I could remember vividly one time I went to a church because I was supposed to stand as a godparent, and the pastor made me feel so terrible that I didn't go back to actually, I didn't show up on the day because of how the pastor made me feel.
Yeah.
And it was because if you're not a part of this church, you shouldn't be here standing for this child. And that's one of the, like, I've had many experiences with church and pastors and the way that they've made me feel, and that's one of the reasons that I'm not a big church goer.
So can I apologize on their behalf?
I mean,
I
sure.
apologize because yes, as churches we have our rules and we try different things. If we keep, and forgive me for using the word, but if we keep sinners out of the church, we're missing our purpose.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about. The church, I mean, I have some very weird teachings. So the church is for a pastor to shepherd the sheep. I believe each sheep should bear sheep. I teach that Jesus didn't change the world, it was the disciples. So I believe that churches should disciple people and train them and teach them the word of God. At my church, I don't preach much, I teach more. But whenever I go to evangelize, I preach a lot. So I've been really praying, Lord, how do I approach my Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at this church? Who are the people that you're going to bring? And already I realize I'm supposed to be bringing a message of faith, because I need people to believe God. Not believe in a pastor, not believe in a church, but believe God. And if we can learn to believe God, then we will understand why God takes a David who moves in the flesh with a Bathsheba and calls him a man after God's own heart. Oh God. It's because God just loves you. And he's willing to say, all right, I know you slipped up, but you're going to be the greatest ever. So God's not looking for perfection. God's just looking for you. Yesterday I said something to somebody for the first time. I said I'm going to use this line. So let me use this line here on SipNchat. Right? With Azem and Jade. Here we go. A lot of us have been told that, you know, God's looking for everything in your life, A to Z. Everything's got to be A to Z perfect, but God's not looking for A to Z. God's looking for you, nothing else but you. So you don't have to put everything in the box for God. Just put you there. Let God do the shaping, and you're fine.
All right. I like that. I like not A to Z, just you.
Just you.
you.
I have a question, because I don't think I've ever, we had one pastor that we've spoken to, interviewed. But how do you feel about people who claim to be man of the cloth like yourselves, but then do things that are close to actually going to jail? For instance, like, I think they call them false prophets, like Peter Popoff and people who sell things to people. Azem told me about Peter Popoff, and I could not believe it. But how do you feel about those type of people? I mean, I think they hinder your journey or your message, but
Well, let me be clear. Some people do some things, like I'll use Peter. Remember, I went to Oral Roberts University, and I'm Herro Blair Jr. So I've grown up in my father's church and seen people got healed and seen people jump out of wheelchairs. I've seen blind eyes open. And sometimes I ask God, why don't I see blind eyes open? Why do I only see like fibroids and things in women disappearing? And I said, maybe it's because I love women, right? The point I'm trying to make is we're all human first. We're not. People call me man of God, and pastors and bishops call me man of God because I try to shepherd them. But I'm human too. And every single one of us will slip in one way or another. Maybe it's not sex, maybe it's money, maybe it's not money, it's how we treat people. I try to remind pastors and people to stay humble. If we stay humble, then we can recognize our humanity. And if we can recognize our humanity, people will see that we are human. So I don't walk around. I had a hard time putting this on, but my wife bought this for me. and she bought a blinging one too.
It's quite nice. It's quite nice.
This one's all damaged, but my wife bought me this blinging one. I go, no, baby, if I wear that one, they won't think I'm a bishop. I go to Africa, they see me like this, they go, oh, sure, bishop. But you got to remind people that you're human. So I think that's where many fall short, because they want to be this great prophet, this great thing. And then the sad part of Christianity, Christians don't like to spend money. So it's hard to have concerts, it's hard to do things. And it is expensive to run ministries. You have a TV ministry, you have TV programs, you got to pay for it. People like Peter and others have to raise money, so they'll sell the bottle of water, the oil and stuff, and people say, you don't need to sell these things. But how do they, if people are getting healed and delivered, you have to find ways to help them to continue to see your programs. And so they'll do those things. I can't do it. You know, my pastor, when I was youth pastor, told me the only thing he never wanted me to do was lift the offering. Because I don't have it in me. I just think if people want to give, they should give. And so I try to be very open with people. I teach at my church giving, but I don't emphasize to be faithful to you. And that's what this is about. I was a prison chaplain of 3 prisons in Cayman, and one day I got so dejected because some of the inmates were coming back in. I'd done all of these wonderful things, felt so great, but then we got these guys paroled and they'd come right back in. Pastor comes up to me and says, Pastor Blair, God gave me a word to give you. And I go, what is it? He said, God never called you to be successful. I go, what? He said, no, God called you to be faithful, just work. Just work and let God do the rest.
Yeah. I think the theme for today seems to be stay humble.
I have to change the show name now.
Yeah, because we had a topic we were talking about, and I think that's really the theme that came out of it as well. And to hear you say this now, it kind of like reinforces that.
Yeah.
But Jade, there's you have a flyer there, see in your hand, and
Yes,
you have some dates and
a
some
very nice flyer. It says Pentecostal Church of God, and it tells us where it is, which is Boone Avenue, Bastille, and it says presents power-packed special services by Bishop Herro Blair Jr., yourself, from Jamaica.
That nice, handsome guy on that page.
Yes,
Praise
yes.
the Lord, hallelujah.
And it's from the 23rd to the 26th. On Thursday, which is today, it's at 7:30. Tomorrow, it is at 7:30. Saturday, it is at 5 p.m. Sunday, it is at 9 a.m. and at 6:30 p.m. And it will also be live on Facebook.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, so I guess you guys could go like on the page as well. Just type in Pentecostal Church of God. I think Saddlers as well. That will bring it directly to you on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. So make sure you go and like if you can't make it down to the church. But of course, it'd be awesome if you come and join the services in person.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know people are definitely looking forward to it. I know I spoke to someone yesterday, and he was telling me that, y'all having something up at the church, you know, come in. So I was like,
As they should.
Yeah.
As they should. And I think hearing you say that, a lot of people, the messages that can be delivered.
I want to say something. How long have you been doing this?
This show? 2 weeks.
How long have you been involved in media?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm sitting down here, and I'm seeing someone that people are gonna fall in love with.
Oh, please don't make me cry here.
Oh, that's been
Please don't make me cry here.
Yeah. The thing is, you know, I don't walk around and tell people, police inspector, as an officer. And I said, you know, I just look at you and I see a car that you've been successful. I go, what's happening? She goes, I've been wanting this car and I can't get the money. I said, well, come back next week and tell me what happened. And she came to church and she said, a lady just called me from New York and told me, you need to get a car. How much money do you have? How much more money do you need? And the lady sends her 2,000 US. And she gets a car the next day. What is it? That's because God knows your need, and it is His desire to give you. It is His desire to give you the desires of your heart, right? And you've been in a. I can't just do this to her on TV.
Jade accepting this word badge.
Oh, you best believe it. Long time I passed there, catch my attention. Let's go.
Well, it's coming to a place of identity where I see you, where like you've been searching for you, and you not just searching for you, but searching for the acceptance of you. And it's like I just hear God saying, you're going to just develop this identity that people are just going to fall for. I even hear you on the radio. Yeah, so go for it. Don't hold back.
Love it.
Don't hold back.
Claim it, Jade. Claim it.
Thank you. Actually, that's the space I've honestly been in.
Yes.
Recognizing that I have this unique talent that I didn't think about before, because before those 2 years I wasn't on the radio or anything. And it so happened that I fell into this, and I really loved it. And
Are you on the radio now?
no, as it made me quit my old job. And as it made me quit my old job on the radio, which we were both on the radio together.
Oh, so you were on the radio?
Yes.
Yeah, but I hear you on the radio.
You know what I mean, Jade?
We have to get a radio station now.
Sugar Factory station.
Yes.
yes. But don't hold back, because God's not going to hold back on you, because God knows you love Him.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I know.
Oh.
Well, guys, while Jade cries, I want to thank Pastor for coming in and hanging out with us. And it's really been a pleasure talking to you this morning. I'm sure a lot of our viewers, we call them the sippers.
Yes.
Sip.
I've really enjoyed this interaction.
Yes.
And I know a lot of them are looking forward to hearing more. So, but guys, make sure from tonight right down to Sunday evening.
Yes, tonight at 7:30.
Tomorrow night at 7:30, Saturday at 5 p.m. And of course, there's 2 sessions on Sunday at 9 and one at 6:30.
But where can people follow you though? Like, are you on social
gosh.
media? Are you big into social media?
I need to get big into it. I'm on it. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I have about 15,000 on Facebook.
Oh.
I'm on radio in Jamaica. My program's called The Rock. So you're the Sippites?
The sippers.
Sippers, yeah.
And mine are the Rockers.
Oh,
so
nice.
my show's called The Rock. So I have the Rockers on the radio and the Rockites on Facebook. So I have a little thing on social media, but I've been praying about finding someone to manage it for me, because if you want to get out there like I do to the young people, you've got to utilize social media, and of course my message is not a typical message for young people, but my task right now has been to tell young people that there's still hope and to give them some direction, because I talk about the teenage pregnancies, I talk about the young men losing their way, not having any direction, no identity, no purpose, not moving towards their destiny. And on Saturday at the church, we're going to be dealing with young people. And I want as many young people to come out so that I can speak into their life. And I believe that every young person who has an eye towards God should get a prophetic word. I'm not sure how strong I'll be after preaching Thursday and Friday, but on Saturday I want to speak into the hearts and lives of young people and their destiny.
Yeah,
Love it.
Definitely, guys, don't want to miss out. Come on out. On Saturday, that's up at Boone Avenue. That's just across from the Village School.
Yes.
And easy to find. Yeah, just right next to the Village School, right next to the Patsy Ellis Playfield on Boone Avenue. Make sure you come out and join us for what is it? A few days of amazing.
Power-packed special services.
Indeed.
And Power Pack don't mean I have to preach hard. I might preach hard, but if I see the people there and the Lord just says, talk to them for 10 minutes instead of an hour, I'll do that.
Right.
If that 10 minutes will change their lives.
Well, again, Pastor, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us right here at the Sugar Factory, and looking forward to hearing more about what happens in the next few days. And who knows, maybe we might even link up with you now and again.
Yes, I was thinking that.
That would be awesome. I've already thought about that too.
Nice. But guys, we're going to take a short break and be right back with more Sip and Chat with Azem and Jade right here on the Sugar Factory. Stick and stay. Don't go anywhere.
Sugar sippers. Guys, thank you so much.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Chat right here at the Sugar Factory, and yeah, we just had a very enlightening, interesting conversation.
Quite so.
And yeah, for those of you, again, some people are asking about where exactly the church is. It's at Boone Avenue. That's that road bordering the village school.
Yeah, you have to tell them it's across from the village school. You know we don't do. You know we don't know the name of the roads in Take-It.
Yeah.
We know places.
Boone Avenue. If you're coming from town heading towards, let's say, the camps area, it's that road, the first road next to the village school. So they're pretty easy to find right there. Just take the left from Central Street, not Central Street, sorry, Keon Street, the main road.
Yeah.
Right there by the Springfield Cemetery, so yeah, easy to find. And of course, Pastor mentioned that Saturday is youth focus. So if you consider yourself,
I have to slide through on Saturday.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna pass through, see what's going on.
I mean, you don't have a choice. You have streaming things to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember you work there as well.
Yeah.
Is it work if it's for your parents?
No.
Okay, well, you volunteer.
Yes.
Well, guys, it's time. I mean, we're almost done, but we cannot leave you without Jade's picks.
Oh, boy.
And I have two very interesting stories to give you today.
I'm so afraid, Jade.
No, I'm sorry. We're going to go a little late today.
Oh, thank you so much.
Don't be afraid. So, it says, armed robber stayed at crime scene to eat victim's fried chicken, prosecutor said.
What?
Yeah. You know, when you're robbing people, you get a little hungry.
Yeah. Robbing does really work up an appetite.
I heard. I've never tried it, but I've heard.
Yes.
And so in Chicago, a man is facing a bucket of felony charges after allegedly robbing a man at gunpoint and then staying at the scene to eat the victim's takeout fried chicken.
So, okay, hold on.
You can't let fresh food go to waste.
Oh, so what he did to the guy, he robbed him?
He robbed him and realized that while robbing him, he probably smelt it, you know, probably smelt it in the close vicinity that he was. And realized, I'm a little hungry.
Chicken right there.
Yeah, I done put in all the work that I'm putting for the day.
I mean, if you're robbing other things, you might as well take the chicken too.
We're going to let the chicken go to waste because Pana ain't going to have an appetite after this for sure.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, he stayed at the scene to eat the
Egregious.
Wastefulness is egregious.
No,
Oh,
the Baba egregious.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, he too, but
Lord,
you know.
man, leave the man with the fried chicken, man.
No, hey, but he gonna waste it as he don't have no appetite. Have you ever been robbed? I have. You don't generally want to eat after that. No?
I suppose.
Okay, yes.
I suppose.
So, Chicago police arrived at this robbery scene within minutes and allegedly found James Taylor, 20.
Oh, they catch him?
Yeah. In the act. Literally in the act.
Okay, so hold on. He couldn't just get a takeaway plate?
No, I don't think the man had plates on him.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he had plates on him. I mean, if it was me, if I was robbing somebody, which I've never, just point out there, I would have probably left with the chicken. I wouldn't stay there. Like, why would I stay on the scene of the crime to eat?
I think we might be onto something here, Jade. I think we need to find out who cooked that chicken. That chicken there need a franchise. Because if that chicken there is so good that the robber couldn't just take a bite, head out, the robber had to stay there so much so that he got caught by the police. That gotta be some real good chicken here.
You think that's how they just feel about KFC? Like,
I was
which
gonna say,
chicken?
I was going to say something egregious, but
Let's not. After the good word of the pastor just now, let's not. Let's not. But like, I feel like Uncle T's would do that to some people. If not KFC.
Whoo. In terms of smell, I keep saying I haven't smelled anything that trapped me as well as Gilly's chicken, especially back in the day. Watch, you could be on the top of 4th Street and smell Gilly's chicken here.
Literally can.
Cross Panama there.
Yeah.
And it would just literally get into your nostrils, and by the time you look up, you're halfway across Panama.
You know who was a good one too? But a lot of y'all ain't gonna remember? Dyson.
Oh, Dyson, yeah, man.
Oh my God, with some festivals?
Yeah, Dyson was another.
Yeah. Dyson was doing it. Yeah, well,
Corruption.
Corruption, yes.
Corruption.
Two rest man on the show talking about chicken.
Corruption, I tell you.
But yes, he stayed on the scene within minutes. The police arrived and found him still enjoying the victim's delicious fried chicken.
Wow.
Yeah. Officials said the victim, 35, parked in front of his home in the 4500 block of South Calumet around 1:30 a.m. Why are you eating chicken so late?
That was probably leftovers. That's what I'm thinking now.
Nah.
A cold chicken couldn't make you stay?
No, bye. This was a hot you know what happened? The man probably went out for like a late night run because he was hungry and stay outside because he didn't want to share with the family. Because you know the chicken smell gonna wake up the whole house now.
Right.
So he walk out, you know what, let me stay out here and eat them. But Pana see him. And Pana said, let me stay out here with you and eat them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But
But imagine going to the prison, right? And you know all the paperwork, this in the news, everybody gonna know you're the one who get catch because you like him out here.
It gets worse. Let me tell you the exact story.
Oh my.
It says Taylor interrupted him to ask, well, the man outside eating chicken, you know? Taylor interrupted him to ask for a light, but the victim said he didn't have one and kept walking. Taylor then tapped the man on the shoulder. When the victim turned around, Taylor was pointing a pistol at his face, prosecutor Kenneth Flesh said. The victim handed over his keys, $2 in cash, a debit card, and the fried chicken. It's a heck of a lick by, lie.
No, but come on, Jade. You don't pull your gun on somebody. All they give you is $2 and the keys. You can't even drive.
And a debit card. They can't even.
You ain't even got a pin.
So that's why the man ate the chicken.
Yeah, I did take the chicken. You couldn't leave empty-handed. $2 wasn't gonna cut it.
He is charged with. Wait, a matter of fact, he climbed into the victim's car and went to work on the chicken. While the victim dialed 911. So the man didn't even drive off. The man just sit down in the car and eat the chicken.
So they can't eat the chicken. He was real hungry for you, man.
Y'all ain't real people, you know?
He was real hungry. I'm starting to feel bad for the guy now.
He could have drove on the car now.
No, I'm thinking now that the police should let him go.
Wow.
It's obvious that he only wanted something to eat. He was probably really hungry.
Well, no, he has.
He didn't shoot anybody.
Thankfully. He was charged with robbery with a firearm, aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, aggravated possession of stolen motor vehicle, illegal.
The man went nowhere.
But he was in it.
He didn't steal it.
No, he tried. The
No.
chicken stopped him, you know?
The chicken.
You realize your robbery was foiled by chicken? You know how gutless you got to be?
I am waiting to hear what the brand of this chicken is.
I don't think they said. No, they didn't say.
I gotta find out.
They needed to say.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out.
Well, he has no criminal background, but he has to pay $15,000 in bail. And he has
Let
to
him
go
go.
and
He was
add.
just hungry. Let him go, Jade. He was just hungry, obviously.
If he was just hungry, he would have just go with the chicken. He tried to go with the cab, but the chicken
No,
stopped him.
what happened is he needed some money because he wanted to go buy some food. By the time he realized the guy only had $2, he just said, walk out, but he's hungry, chicken right here, might as well. He was so hungry he couldn't even stop to drive off in the car. It's obvious to me that this is just a guy
It's obvious.
who fell on hard times and just needed like perhaps a
A bucket?
bucket.
A bucket to get him through the night. Yes.
That's all.
That-
Yeah,
it happens. It
That's
happens.
all, yeah.
Well, he shall be all right. So let's jump into the last story of the day. It says Arkansas police declared suicide in mysterious death of Mac Middleton, former Bill Clinton aide linked to Jeffrey Epstein, despite the advisor being found tied to a tree and shot in the chest.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Wild, isn't it?
You have to give me the details. Yeah.
Well, according to a report from the Perry County Sheriff's Department,
Okay.
Mac Middleton, a former high-ranking aide in Bill Clinton's presidential campaign, died by suicide.
Okay, that's the official ruling, like the ruling it of suicide.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Last year on May 2nd, Middleton, 59, was found dead at the Heifer Ranch. Wow.
Wow, that's the name.
That's the name. The Heifer Ranch in Perryville, Arkansas, which is 30 miles from his home and an hour west of the state capital, Little Rock. The report, written by Deputy Jeremy Lawson, asserts ranch worker Samantha McElroy, 46, called the police after discovering Middleton's abandoned black BMW SUV and what appeared to be a person near a cottage toward the rear of the property. Lawson says when he arrived on the scene, they found Middleton tied to a tree with an extension cord around his neck and a gunshot wound to the chest. The report also stated that a search of Middleton's vehicle returned evidence including up to 3 boxes of buckshot and a gun case. However, no weapon was found and authorities still have not located the weapon used in the fatal incident.
They're doing too much now, Jade.
They're blatant with it, you know.
They're blatant with it
I
now.
thought Jeffrey's suicide was blatant,
No, this one is.
but this one take the cake.
This one take the cake, Jade.
Yeah.
There is no way. And the funny thing about it is, then nobody could believe this, you know.
They know it, but thank you.
Then nobody could believe
What are you
this.
gonna do them? Tell them the lie?
Let's go through the facts. The guy is tied to a tree.
With an extension cord around his neck,
Hold
yes.
on. So he tied to a tree. That's the first thing. Meaning he's tied to the tree, Jade.
Yes, yes,
There's an extension cord wrapped around his neck.
yes.
He has a gunshot wound to his chest. For which no one could find the weapon that inflicted the wound.
No.
But it was a suicide.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
You realize everything surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's case is always wild?
They don't care anymore.
No, they don't care.
What, it's obvious to me that what is happening is the Epstein thing is just so damaging to so many people that all they have to do is just clear up everything. Like they can't afford for anything to come out. They don't care how crazy it looks. They don't care how wild the stories are. The
Nope.
important thing is just make sure these stories don't get out.
Just make sure they did.
Protect who you need to protect.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's what happens when you're dealing with high-ranking people that are corrupted, rich and corrupted.
They don't even care that this is conspiracy theorist. This ain't even a conspiracy theory
It is
anymore.
not a conspiracy theory, Azem. It is not. A conspiracy theory?
It's a conspiracy fact.
Yes.
It's a conspiracy fact. There's no, like, Jade, listen to what I'm saying. The guy shot himself while he was tied to a tree and no one can find the gun.
In his chest. According to the statistics, more suicides happen when people shoot themselves in the head, not in the chest. One.
Jade, but if your hand tied to a tree.
How you gonna shoot yourself in your chest?
And where do the gun?
How you try the gun? How they can't for even if you threw the gun, how they can't find it in the vicinity?
Jade, these people, this is the same people who just go into like rivers and find guns there.
But they can't find one of a man who shoots himself in his chest.
On a prairie.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, this thing is very dangerous. And and I think they're being so blatant with it. You know why? You know why they're being just so blatant with it? So that anybody else who knows anything knows, hey guys, we ain't care. If you decide to try and say anything, if you bring out any information, or we don't care.
No, they don't care. Because
this is purposeful.
They'll unalive you too.
It's purposeful. It's purposeful.
Yeah.
Hey, so those of you who know why I went on with Epstein, please keep your mouth shut.
Just act like you ain't none of it. I don't even think they're going to save them. I'm pretty sure we'll see more people unaliving themselves.
Connected to this case?
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope not, but it's very difficult to believe that.
Corruption runs deep, Azem.
Wow.
Especially when you're dealing with rich people.
What are you saying about the bank? Anyway.
The 20 million they're missing, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah,
it's
man.
only a small 20. Like, listen. A small 20?
Development bank like they've been in the red forever, so they're finding
Yeah.
20 to take off the top.
You know, but people was like, I hope my student loan, the thief, they ain't gone with your little $300.
No, but then the joke, Jade, the joke is, people saying 20 million is a small figure, but if the bank been in the red all the time, maybe ain't had a lot to thief.
Good point, Carla. Good point. There was not enough to thief anyway.
What the bank needs to do, I tell you, the bank needs to come in with some specialized loans to really help people work their way out of the places that they are. And also, please, 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 teach people how to pay their loans reasonably. I had to give Jade the heads up the other day.
Boy, I can't believe y'all scamming me all this time.
Jade out here playing the interest all the time. She principal A moving.
Y'all have no shame.
Jade said, I play this
Boy,
loan all the
I
time.
literally want to think like, no man, stop man.
I said, Jade, give me a receipt. Give me a receipt.
I can't believe
all the money going to the interest.
y'all just sleep at night knowing that y'all robbing people.
Jade loan would never move. Jade paying X amount of money.
I would have moved like the dude.
2% going to the principal, 98% going to the interest.
I would have just come in and let on the floor in the bank. Y'all want to see how crazy this thing could get? I would have just go let on the floor in the bank. Because y'all play with me.
20 years later, the balance only gone down $6.
I am sleeping good at night. Stop playing with people money, please. I couldn't believe it for you, know? I tell you, watch the receipt like, no man. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I pay you and I just go bank. And you see me paying all this money and my receipt ain't moving.
Look, guys, please take the time to figure out.
We're going to tell them tomorrow.
This is what I'm talking about with the teaching us in school. What they teaching us in school, Jade? People can't even save money. People can't even balance a checkbook. I'm still trying to learn myself.
Just pissing me off.
Oh my gosh. But guys, on that note, we're going to leave, we're going to go, we're going to disembark, unlike
Definitely.
Jade's balance.
Wow. Wow.
But we're fixing it now, I got you friend.
Is my pain a joke to you?
No. Well, maybe.
Wow.
But guys, I appreciate
It is right, Darrione?
Oh, bye.
Clearly.
Kingsters don't get roped in.
Kingsters will. Therefore, once again,
Once again, what?
the audience asks to pick up as
Azem, can you please just stand and give a bow?
I-
Can you just stand?
No, I'm good.
They could see it now. It's okay.
Yeah, the
Lay and zoom in enough.
the-
Jade, just let them know the Kingsters got it.
Yes. This is what y'all behind there
bye.
doing what y'all do.
Oh my gosh.
Keeping us up and running.
Guys,
giving the
it's
people what they
been great.
need.
It's been great, guys, and we appreciate you
Pick
for
up the Kingsters.
Big up the
you.
Kingsters, yes.
We appreciate you taking the time out to come and hang out with us this morning. Even if you're looking at us afterwards, after the stream has ended, we appreciate you. Still share, like, let us know your favorite clips, your favorite parts of the show. We really look forward to your feedback, and it's really been a cool journey with the Sippers
Definitely.
and the Kingsters so far. Thanks to our guest, Pastor Blair Jr.
Definitely.
It's been that was a cool little conversation.
Yeah, that was needed.
Yeah.
I felt something in my spirit move.
Yeah, tingling.
Yeah, long time I feel a tingle.
You showing gas?
I'm a little hungry, but it wasn't gas.
But guys, we gotta leave, we gotta go, we gotta disembark. Thank you so much for being a part of what it is that we're doing here. Please remember, guys, to
Before,
get... Yeah?
wait,
You got
wait a
something?
minute.
No, go ahead.
Now going to remind them, you have to like, share,
Oh.
subscribe, follow us on all the social media sites, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The TikTok going up, I'm gonna let you.
No, but the clips them running the place right now.
As they should.
clips them running the
As
place
they
right now.
should. I already know which clip I'm clipping today.
Oh my God. But guys, thank you so much. Remember, get your mugs. Join us back here tomorrow for more Sip and Chat with Azem and Jade. And remember, guys, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. Gonna see you guys tomorrow.